Welcome to the Rabbit Hole Fantasy Football Podcast. Thoughts, analysis, and information to help you succeed in your fantasy football leagues. I am your host, Chad Lyon, and I am here as always with Tyler Bevel.
Hey.
And our producer, Mitchell Bird.
Hello.
And today we are previewing the Week 1 Sunday 4 o'clock games as well as Sunday and Monday Night Football. Tyler.
Chad.
We have a game in the books.
It was fun.
We are going to get into that. Chiefs-Ravens game. But first, we have to do our top 3 list.
Yeah.
You ready for this?
I am.
I
know about this. I'm ready to go.
Top 3 hair bands. Here we go. Go ahead.
Starting us off?
Yeah, go ahead, Ty.
Top 3. I'm going to go with Tesla,
Warrant,
and Van Halen.
I'm
going to change it. I'm going to go Tesla, Van Halen, Warrant.
Okay. I don't know, the Warrant song that you just played for me.
I was thinking that phrase because you guys, Cherry Pie, that sucked. I'm like, come on, guys, just check it out.
Yeah, you're right. There is way better songs than Cherry Pie. Cherry Pie's terrible.
It's not good.
Poor Warrant.
Yeah.
That's what everyone knows him for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Former drummer in metal bands, and I'm sitting here like, yeah, Warrant's known for Cherry. Like, how did I not do any deeper dive in that at all?
Because it was before our time.
That's fair. That's fair. Mitchell, what do you got?
All right, I got Ozzy.
All right.
I'm gonna do Van Halen. And then Warrant. Sorry, I'm basic. But I do have to say, I'm not like an expert in this.
Don't attack us on these lists. We did the best to keep this hair metal as we could. Like, we're not genre.
I'm 39 years old.
Yeah, we tried to keep it as hair metal as we could.
Yeah, well, and, you know, I've gotten into some of it over the time. Like, for those that don't know, Tyler and I played in metal bands together. And so, like, this stuff definitely got touched on when we were growing up.
But I'm saying, Tesla's not hair metal. Well, it's close.
It's
give
pretty
us a break.
close. Yeah. I've got Ozzy Osbourne at 1. Yeah. I've got Motley Crue at 2.
Motley Crue.
And LA Guns at 3.
Nice.
The Cocked and Loaded album.
Right.
See, again, and that's like, I know it came out in 1989, but like that's, boy, it sounded like hair metal.
Don't come after us. We're just trying to have fun here.
Yeah, I think Motley Crue, though, man, those guys are like the original party rockers that pushed the envelope.
Oh, they were. Yeah.
They're just
wild. Motley
dudes,
Crue
man.
would definitely been my honorable mention.
Sure, like total just punk ass jerk kids, man. Oh man, but
visionaries though.
Yeah, absolutely were. Okay. Let's talk some Thursday night football. Chiefs Ravens. Boy, oh boy. That was a game.
Yeah.
That was a game. Poor Likely.
Likely?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end. That was terrible. And it was a great catch. I mean, it wasn't a catch, but that close.
I would go ahead and say that Rashee Rice should never come out of your lineup. So he is a solid wide receiver too. That was solidified, and he's going to have lots of one upside.
Yeah.
Xavier Worthy, you flex him all the time.
Excited about that.
There's going to be even moments where it's like, oh, bye weeks. It's like, I guess I'll have to put Xavier Worthy as my number 2. That's fine. Go ahead and do it.
This offense has their speed back, which is scary, and Hollywood Brown's not even in there.
I know. That's, man. Pacheco looked good.
Yeah. Pacheco looked good against what I assume to still be a tough run defense.
Sure. Yeah. There's players on that defense, man. Kelsey, though.
Yeah. He's kind of MIA a little bit.
Well, they don't need to pepper him with targets.
Right.
I mean, and it wasn't even a taking Kelsey away thing. It's like, no, man, like the speed is just killing it, and they stuck with it, and I get it.
Quick passes. Get that ball in their guys' hands and let them run.
and that was the thing there. Rashee Rice, like just sure-handed.
Yep.
Like we were talking before this, some of those balls, man, that were like in such short proximity, like a short distance from Pat Mahomes to him, and you could just hear it like whop right into his head. It's like, man, like that's some high velocity, passing from that short a distance, and he's like no issues, eyes straight on the ball. Tried that one to
Pacheco coming out of the backfield. He's like, hey, I'm a running back, bro. Take some off, right?
But what I liked about Rice is like clear, like he's seeing the ball all the way to his hands. He's not turning his head and looking upfield beforehand. He's doing everything right. Looks polished and smooth. And boy, I think Rashee Rice is going to have an awesome season.
Yeah,
like he had a good year last year.
PPR machine.
It was good last year.
Yeah,
but like this has got like breakout written all over it.
Yeah.
Like he is just going to go absolutely berserk. So I am all in there. Mahomes' numbers were a little but that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you get? Probably on average around 20 fantasy points or so.
Yeah, but yeah.
Onto the Ravens side, I was a little, man, Derrick Henry, that line's going to be a problem.
It was an ugly showing for that offensive line.
A lot of Justice Hill.
A lot of Justice Hill, yeah.
I didn't like that. They're going to have a lot of matchups. So where I mean, they're played. Kansas City's no joke on either side of the ball.
Chris Jones.
He's a game wrecker. He was making it real hard. Zay Flowers is going to see a lot of targets.
Yeah, he looked good last night.
Yep, he did. What else? What's going on here? Mark Andrews.
Isaiah Likely is what's going on here.
Yeah. Friend of ours, Nick, he had let us know that he actually, he caught some real intel.
Yeah.
From a friend that works on the Baltimore staff. He's an athletic trainer, one of the many.
Yeah.
And
pre-game, he was telling us that Isaiah Likely was going to blow up.
Yep. Boy, he did. And I didn't know, I seen him saying that, and I was like, really? Just Mark Andrews just don't exist anymore?
Right.
Wow. Now, I know that I called him a bust.
We didn't foresee
Not that, though. I just thought I was like an ADP thing. I just didn't like it, and man, the one ball that he did catch there, he fell.
Yeah,
poor Mark, man. Visibly, not too thrilled on the sidelines. No. I mean, he essentially played tackle all game.
Yeah, it's a weird spot. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this where a perennial, pretty much top 5 tight end is just not used in the opening game.
And I kind of expect it to continue unless they fix the O-line. And so it's almost like they need him there.
Yeah.
And he's not necessarily like a blocking type tight end. He's just a big body.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, he can block, but he's...
but I think that's a very strong suit in Mark Andrews' game. For the tight end position, he's
very
solid blocking.
To be relying on that to help out your... That's scary.
He wants to be out there catching passes, too.
Yeah, so that's... I don't know, man. Is there... what do you think about Justice Hill? Is he an ad?
Yeah. I mean, I want to see how week 1 plays out, see what the waiver
Keaton Mitchell will be back at some point, but I don't think it's going to be real soon.
No, it sounds like it's a couple weeks.
Yeah, more.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think deep stash with Justice Hill, it's not going to hurt. Yeah, he's getting catches.
I don't see Ali coming in there and doing much to take stuff away from Justice Hill. So yeah, I'd say it's an ad.
And he's catching the ball. I mean, he's in the passing situations.
Yeah.
Almost every one of them.
Yep.
So that's something to look at. Did we miss anything? I don't think we did. We covered. Lamar Jackson. So. Yeah, that was an FU game.
Yeah.
He cannot do that all year. He got to slide. I mean, he's trying to drive through.
I love that he's taking off in the times that he did, but you don't take them.
Oh, he's trying to lower his shoulder and go through 3 tacklers, and he's falling all over the place and rolling all over the ground. It's like, man,
dude's hungry though.
Yeah, he is. He is, and noticeable weight loss.
He's coming.
You could see the weight loss in his arms as he's standing there.
Yeah.
I mean,
and man, in today's NFL, I got to admit that it was refreshing to see a guy that was just you can just tell Lamar Jackson was out there I want my ring.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
that
coming
dude is
this
such
year.
a gamer, man.
Yeah.
I was rooting for Baltimore really hard last night. No hate on Kansas City. It's just I wanted to see them come in after that AFC Championship game and just I was like, man, I hope Lamar plays some serious FU ball.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get more FU than that.
No, but get down, Lamar. We want you there for the
whole please
season.
Slide.
Yeah.
Man, get down, dude. Please. All right, that's Baltimore and Kansas City game. That was an awesome start to the season. Let's move on to the 4:00 games. Broncos at Seahawks. I'm so pumped to see what Sean Payton gets out of Bo Nix.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited about it.
We're not really expecting a whole lot, though, right? Fantasy-wise,
No, game manager. I think that they want to... I mean, I know you're going to get there, but man, both the running backs in this game, I think, both these teams are going to try to run the ball, and you're talking about very porous run defenses, and I think they want to run the ball, probably get the play action going with Bo Nix if they can. Try to, with any rookie quarterback, I know this is obvious stuff, but alleviate as much as they can off of him.
Right. And Sean Payton's going to.
Yep.
I think we both agree he's going to take care of him the right way.
Yeah. It's his guy. He's looking out. I mean, and now with the cutting of Russell Wilson and all that dead money, he's got a lot invested in this, so he better do it right.
Yeah. New year for Geno Smith. What are we expecting, Tyler?
Yeah, I don't know. I expect him to have an okay game in this, but I also think
Sam Howell's coming.
Sam Howell's coming.
Outside of Superflex and like deep leagues, I don't think it matters. But Geno over Bo or vice versa?
Yeah, I'll go Geno over Bo.
Got it right.
Yep.
Yeah, agreed. Let's move on to running backs here. And the Broncos side, we've got Javonte Williams, Jaleel McLaughlin, and I don't think we need to worry about Audric Estime right now.
No.
I think it's just those two. I think Javonte Williams could. I expect a good season. I do expect a good season out of him. I think Audric, we're going to be waiting a little bit. I think it might take an injury. Like if as long as Javonte and Jaleel are doing what Sean Payton needs them to do, I think he's out of the way. But he's not going to. The leash isn't very long with Sean Payton either.
No, I worry a little bit about that bruiser work, goal line stuff. I don't think that it's there yet, but I do worry about that being something that develops because kid is a bowling ball.
Sure.
I honestly could make a case for both Javonte Williams and Jaleel McLaughlin in this game. I mean, Seattle was terrible against the run last year.
Yep.
It's a 30th ranked run defense.
I think Williams could have a great game.
Yeah, I think he could too.
And I think like there's going to be a volume thing, like we talked about that with Bo Nix. Like they're going to do everything they can to alleviate pressure off Bo.
Which is why I like Jaleel too, because they're going to use them both. I think.
Sure.
Then good, capable backs here going against what was the poorest run defense last year. I like these.
You can start them both. I think you can start Javonte as an RB2 and Jaleel McLaughlin as a flex.
Absolutely.
I have no issue with that. Seahawks side, Ken Walker, Zach Charbonnet. I think it's all Ken Walker.
I want
with a little bit of Charbonnet.
I want Ken Walker more than anybody in this game.
Sure. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. It's just as bad. The Broncos were the 31st ranked run defense last year.
Right.
I mean, and I don't see a huge improvement this year. I think Ken Walker has a big game.
Yeah, bigger than Javonte.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I don't think Charbonnet cuts in as much as Jaleel does.
He's a lot of people's breakout.
Yeah.
Ken Walker is. Yeah, people are high on Ken Walker this year. And if he comes out and just hammers away and has a fantastic start, it's going to solidify so many people's thoughts.
For sure.
A lot of people are on the Ken Walker train. I don't blame them. I'm on the Ken Walker train. Let's move over to wide receivers. For the Broncos, Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin. And I'm only listing all these guys because it's kind of a weird room. Devon Vele, he's gaining some steam in the dynasty world. It's really just, to me, it's Cortland Sutton right now and nobody else.
I gotta see it. Yeah, it's a weird wide receiver room, but
I honestly don't want to start Cortland Sutton either.
No,
I don't want to start any of these guys.
Even Cortland Sutton, just because I'm still viewing him as a flex, not even a wide receiver too. It's
if I have to,
it's a flex spot.
Yeah. Seahawks side, DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and JSN. Tyler Lockett's he's questionable with a thigh injury, but it sounds like he's going to play. But be sure to check. Is this where it starts for JSN?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
The matchup is not terrible. Denver's passing defense was a lot better than the rushing defense. I want to say they ranked 11th or 12th last year. But I don't know. I don't have a problem starting DK or JSN. But
I don't have a problem starting any of them.
My expectations aren't very high. Let me say that.
No, I mean Metcalf's a receiver too, even though I have my feelings. I wouldn't start him as a receiver too because I won't draft him. But and then to me, Lockett and JSN, they're flexes. Yeah,
I am a little bit worried about Lockett with that. Week one, if something twinges, I don't think they're going to push him out there.
I think it just helps JSN.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I am flexing JSN this week. I'm going to ride on my thoughts and cross my fingers that I'm right. Let's move on over to tight end. Broncos, we've got Adam Troutman and Greg Dulcich. I'm not starting either one of these, but I think that this is something to at least keep your eye on.
Yeah.
I don't know who. I have to lean Troutman just because of the way that Sean Payton does things. He did not draft Greg Dulcich. He seems to weirdly almost have something against them, but I don't know. He did a few things in the preseason that were nice to see, but this is one you stay away from it, and it's a wait and see approach. And it may be nothing. Nothing may come of it. I don't know. But I'm going to avoid that pretty hard. On over to the Seahawks side, Noah Fant questionable with a foot injury since early August, and then Pharaoh Brown's behind him. He's also questionable. I am avoiding. However, I do have some interest in keeping my eye on Fant, but it's very minimal. But that's really it here. I got nothing.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, Fant is hard for me to get excited about, but yeah, keep your eye on him.
And we're passing on these defenses, right?
The thing that sucks about this is the Broncos were dead last against tight ends in fantasy scoring last year.
Right.
But it's just you can't trust it.
Nope. Avoiding the defenses.
Yeah.
If you had to choose,
Seattle.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, let's move on to the Raiders at the Chargers. And Tyler, anything in particular piquing your interest in this game?
I'm curious to see how Gardner does.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll have my eye on the Chargers backfield.
For sure.
I'm curious to see who's going to get the majority of the carries here. Who starts? If it sounds like Dobbins is the starter, but that doesn't mean anything. That just means he gets the first snap.
Yeah.
So
and I just read a report today that Kamani Vidal is going to be doing some third down work. So
okay, all right, that's terrifying to hear.
Views, Dobbins and Edwards is single cut runners running up the trenches, and Kamani Vidal could get the third down work.
This backfield could be a huge avoid. As much as they're going to run, it might be one of them things where it's like this is a 3-headed monster, and I don't know who to start.
If I'm rolling with anybody right now, I'll go with Dobbins.
Me too. I'll take Dobbins right now. I'll take Dobbins. Yeah. Curious as to who sees the most targets in the passing game for the Chargers as well.
Yeah, man, it's hard not to make a case for Ladd McConkey.
It's hard not to make a case for Josh Palmer.
True.
So it's wait and see.
Yeah.
But we'll get to receivers in a second. Over to quarterback, Herbert's my only interest.
Yeah.
I have no interest. I mean, in Superflex, you're pushing it.
Yeah.
But, with the other guys, Minshew and O'Connell. It's Minshew. But either way, it doesn't matter which one of those you're starting. You're like, even in Superflex, you're like, I don't know. But Herbert's my only interest here. He's if you have him, most likely you start him. You obviously start him in Superflex. Let's move on to running backs here. Raiders side, Zamir White.
Love it. I will say, just to go back real quick, the Raiders were the 5th best passing defense last year.
Yeah.
Tougher defense than people give them credit for. But anyways,
listen, there's a lot of guys that I prefer to start over Herbert, but I think as far as quarterbacks go,
if you have him, you're starting him, though. I mean,
maybe he went late in a lot of drafts.
You're absolutely right.
But at the end of the day, if you're telling me between Herbert and Minshew, the only one I even have a little interest in is Herbert.
Yeah.
And if he's the only guy I have, it is what it is. But there's a chance you could have maybe you have Purdy and Herbert.
Yeah.
Maybe you waited and just went bang bang. I mean, I don't know.
Start Purdy.
You start Purdy.
Yeah.
Right. But so there might be some instances where
in this game, it's Herbert.
It's Herbert between the two.
But
okay.
Yeah, Zamir White. Chargers were 23rd against the run last year for fantasy scoring.
Mm-hmm.
I think that improves with Harbaugh. I still think Zamir White has a big game.
He's going to get all the work.
Yep.
You think Alexander Madison's going to step on his toes?
I do not.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I think those people that went out there and got them some Zamir White are going to be real happy. I mean, he was not an early pick by any means.
No.
A lot of running backs went ahead of Zamir White.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he's one of them guys where if you just focused on receiver and then maybe snagged a tight end, then Zamir White, oh man,
yeah,
you could be in an awesome boat. Or maybe you just went hero running back. Maybe you're one of them guys that was able to get one of the top 3 or 4 running backs and you waited and just kept, peppering out receivers and whatnot and then took Zamir White as your 2. Man, I think he's just going to be awesome. On volume alone, he's going to get so many touches. All he has to do is stay healthy.
Yep.
That's all he has to do. All right, let's move on to the Chargers side. We kind of dabbled in this a little bit when we started this game, but Gus Edwards, Dobbins, and Vidal, I think it's probably a good idea to just avoid it. But if you can't help it and it's like, well, I have Dobbins on my bench and I have so-and-so and he's looking like not to play and I need a flex. Well, I think Dobbins is one I would put my faith in right now, but that could easily change.
I will give you that. Dobbins is scary to me to draft and everything, but if Dobbins stays healthy, you're going to have a hard time keeping that kid off the field.
Yes, I totally agree. I mean, I don't know. I want to avoid it if I can, But again, if I have to pick one, it's Dobbins, and it's really not that hard of a choice.
No.
Okay. Moving on over to receivers. Let's start with the Raiders. Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker. I have no interest in Tucker right now unless I'm stashing him in Dynasty. But yeah, I mean, if you have Adams, you're starting him. Jacoby Myers is a flex, right?
Yeah. Until he proves otherwise. And I think Jacoby Myers pairs up well with Minshew just because of all the double teams and stuff that Adams sees.
Yes.
And I don't know if Gardner is going to be pulling the trigger on that.
Not the way Rodgers would.
No.
No way. So yeah, Myers is a flex at best, right?
Yeah.
And with the potential.
With some upside.
Yeah, there's some upside there. Like receiver 3.
He just gets catches. And until he proves me that that's not going to happen, he's a flex for me for sure.
Okay. Chargers side, Ladd McConkey, Josh Palmer, Quentin Johnson, Brendan Rice, DJ Chark. And the only reason I went that deep is because I don't know. Yeah, who knows? I think it's got to be McConkey or Palmer.
Yeah.
But maybe Quentin Johnson learned how to catch it while he's running. I mean, if that's the case, then sure.
There is some intrigue for me with Quentin Johnson. And I know last year was bad, but this guy is still
real
a
bad.
high draft pick. The Chargers still invested that in him. And I know it's a new scheme, which worries me.
Yes. So they had nothing to do with drafting.
Right.
him.
So he had to have shown them something for him to get on the field and be able to make some plays. I have some intrigue there, but it's low.
Yeah. I'm going to stick to, I just don't like just watching last year. It's like, oh my God, catch the ball, man.
Yeah.
It's how many balls have we seen bounce off your
hands? And this
hands?
is not a great wide receiver room. Harbaugh wants guys out there that are going to catch. Like when Herbert gets them the ball, that they're reliable.
So again, I would probably I would avoid this.
Yeah.
I'm avoiding this if I absolutely had no choice and I had to flex somebody. I'm going to flex McConkey.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Also, DJ Chark's got a hip injury. He might be questionable in case anyone was thinking about him, but I'm not. Let's move on to tight ends.
I didn't even know he was still around here.
He's there. Tight ends. Let's go with the Raiders first. Brock Bowers, questionable with a foot injury, but Antonio Pierce stressed, he was adamant. No, he's playing. So I don't know. Take
Get out there, you Nancy.
If he does play,
yeah.
Do you start him? Michael Mayer's there. I mean,
he's still good.
Yeah. Do you envision 2 tight end sets?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? If Trey Tucker's your best option at 3.
I want Michael Mayer on the field over Trey Tucker.
Yeah.
I know there's the speed there with Trey Tucker. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but big body, big catch vicinity. You need that right now. I'm avoiding this.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, would you be surprised if it's like, oh man, Brock Bowers caught 6 balls for 65 yards and he caught a touchdown?
No.
I wouldn't be that surprised.
No.
But this is the situation. I got to see this first.
Yep.
And we kind of said that, we were a little low when we talked about Xavier Worthy. Because we're just not sure.
Right.
I don't know. Now, maybe we should have been a little higher knowing Hollywood wasn't playing.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Kelsey's there. Pacheco's there. Rishi Rice is there. I didn't know what to expect.
I was pretty excited about Worthy, to toot my own horn there a little bit.
That's, yeah. I mean, at the beginning, yes. But when we just did when we covered that game, we weren't sure whether we flex them or wait and see.
Well, thanks. I just scored 2 touchdowns.
Maybe we play somebody on Sunday we talked about.
Yeah.
Someone that we know, been there, done it. But yeah. Let's go to the Chargers side for tight end here.
Should we really?
No, Hayden Hurst and Will Disley. I don't have it. I mean, we can move right on.
Yeah.
I don't have any interest there. Do you have any interest in any defense? I would like to avoid this.
I'd take the Chargers defense.
The Chargers, if you had to?
Yeah. That's tough, though. No, I take that back. Raiders defense.
Way better in the pass game.
Yep.
As far as coverage goes. Okay. Let's move on to the Cowboys at the Browns. I really hope that all my Jake Ferguson talk comes to fruition.
Yeah.
Oh, man, because that's all I've done is run my head about that kid. I really hope. I mean, I don't see how. Can you see Cooks outdoing him?
No.
I really don't think. And now, listen, this could be a. What are you talking about? Brandon Cooks is. It's like, yeah,
Brandon Cooks is still a capable player, but I don't know. Jake Ferguson, like Dak wants to get that guy the ball. He's going to get a lot of targets.
Schoonmaker's hurting already. Like I think it's a hamstring.
And all the attention that CD is going to get, like you can't really. He's not going to be able to double Jake Ferguson. I think that's going to be a problem.
I think so too. I think he's a lot of people got him quite late.
Yeah.
I think he could be in a great situation if
I have
you have
a
him.
lot of Jake Ferguson stock.
Yes, you do. Yes,
so
you
I
do.
hope for good things as well. Browns are going to be tough against the pass.
They are. Be real tough against the pass.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Browns, can they please just start Jameis Winston?
Oh my God, I hope.
My only quarterback interest here is Dak. I have zero. It's negative interest in Watson. Like as far negative as you can go till you start getting into weird numbers
Cowboys
I've never heard
defense
of.
is going to be tough, and I haven't seen anything from Watson to think this is going to go well.
No, man. I have no interest in this guy. None whatsoever. All right. Yeah, Dak. That's
And
it.
I'll be honest, I just don't like him.
No, I don't really care for Watson. And I don't usually play with my heart, but I don't like this dude.
He's not a guy you root for either.
No. Anyway, my only interest is Dak. If you have Dak, you start Dak.
I love Dak. Even against a tough matchup, like give me Dak.
Yep, for sure. Running back, Cowboys. Zeke Elliott and Rico Dowdle.
Yeah.
Kind of split we got here.
I think it's going to be pretty tight.
Closer to 50-50 than a lot of people think?
Yeah,
or?
I'll still go 60-40.
Zeke? 60-40 Zeke?
For now.
Yeah, I think that's just hey, I've been a Cowboy. You know,
right.
They're going to give him that respect.
Problem is, man, Rico Dowdle runs hard.
He runs real hard.
Yeah, and I think eventually that, I don't know. I think Dak could have a good couple games. I don't know if this game is it. I'd say, they're not. The Browns' defense is just good all the way around.
Yeah.
And it's going to be tough. This is a good.
Potential lower scoring game.
Honestly, I think so.
I think so too. From both sides.
Yep. And I know that there's a lot of firepower on the Cowboys, and the Browns have weapons too. They just don't have a person to get the ball to the weapons. But I think it's a lower scoring game.
Okay. On over to the Browns side. Jerome Ford, Deontay Foreman, Pierre Strong. I mean, I think Jerome Ford leads the way.
Yep.
He's an RB2. Maybe a flex.
Yeah.
He's a flex with RB2 upside.
I'll lean more towards flex with RB2 upside.
Yeah, and I don't have any interest in Foreman or Pierre Strong. My only interest in this backfield is have Jerome Ford until Nick Chubb comes back.
Yeah.
That's my interest level. Same?
Yep.
Okay. Wide receivers for the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert. I only have got interest in CeeDee.
Yeah.
I'm not flexing Cooks. I suppose you could if you're in that bad of a spot, but
I think CD has another huge year.
I think so too.
Even in this game, even as I've talked about the Browns were fourth in passing defense last year, I don't care.
If anyone pulls anything over, it's going to be CeeDee.
Yep.
Okay. Onto the Browns side, Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, and then I'll just for mention Elijah Moore, Cedric Tillman. You're not starting them. Tillman's still a stash in dynasty leagues. No interest in Jeudy.
Now, give me Amari Cooper, though.
Yeah. I'll
return to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Do something, Deshaun, but give me Amari Cooper.
We going to get a revenge game out of this?
I think Cooper, if Deshaun plays halfway decent, Cooper has a good game.
If Jameis Winston plays...
Cooper's breaking records.
Which is not a thing. I should make that clear. It's not a thing. It's going to be Deshaun Watson. So
we're just pounding the drum for it.
But Cooper's a receiver too, and there's a lot of upside.
Yep.
We talked about Jake Ferguson for the tight ends. Let's go on to the Brown side with David Njoku. Listen, we've expressed our thoughts there over the last few weeks, and if Watson's under center, I don't want to start Njoku.
No,
I just don't, and I think a lot of people are going to, and they have to.
Yeah, and the only thing I will say to that is that it had to be, in my opinion, pounded into Deshaun Watson's head in training camp. If it wasn't, they did something wrong. Like, did you see Njoku when Flacco was out there? Did you see that?
Right.
And I hope for Njoku owners that translates at least to something better than when Watson was in there last year.
I would think it'd have to be.
Yeah.
He's not going to go out there and get you 4s and 5s like he was. I can't imagine that.
No, and I don't like Deshaun, but he's not an idiot either. He had to see it too.
He had to have.
Like, okay.
I have a freak of an athlete here. Like, I need to use him. What's your interest level defense-wise? Browns, that's it?
No, I'd take either defense in this game.
Well, yeah. Okay, that's a good point. If I had to pick, I'd take the Browns.
No, I wouldn't.
Dallas. No, I wouldn't.
I think
I'd take Dallas.
Yeah, I'd pick one.
I should have thought about that for a second before I.
It's the Dak Deshaun difference. I think.
Yes,
that's why I would.
That's why I was like, oh wait.
Right.
The Browns' defense is better, but the Cowboys get to play Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good point there. Let's move on to the Commanders at the Buccaneers. Excuse me. Jaden Daniels time.
I'm ready.
Very intrigued. I can't wait to see how this pans out. Everybody must know by now, I love running quarterbacks, or quarterbacks who can run, I should say. Are you worried at all about Baker without Dave Canales?
No.
Does he pick right up where he left off, you think?
I think he has a good year comparable to last year.
Not some big downfall.
No, I don't see a big drop off. I see it in line with what he did last year.
That's reasonable.
I think Baker, this might be the first year where Baker feels comfortable, and I still expect a good year from Baker.
Okay. Which quarterback would you prefer?
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, me too. All day long. Running backs.
Great matchup for both quarterbacks, though. Tampa Bay was the 25th passing defense last year.
Yep.
Washington was the 31st.
Yeah, they're rough, dude. And they're still rough. Okay. Yeah, give me Jaden Daniels, but if you have Baker and you want to start Baker, that's fine. Let's move on to running back. Commanders, Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson. They're both starts, right?
Yeah. It's a tough matchup. As bad as Tampa Bay was against the pass, they were great against the run, third. I want to start Austin Eckler. I'm waiting on Brian Robinson.
I have no problem flexing either one of them.
Really?
Yep.
Fair enough.
Yep. Brian Robinson's good, man.
He is.
No one talks
I'm
about
not
it.
taking that away from him at all. Brian Robinson is very good.
He's sneaky good. Like like no one talks about Brian
Great
Robinson.
pass catcher out of the backfield.
Yeah,
yeah. It's nothing against Brian Robinson's talent. I just don't like the matchup.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I just think if you have either one of them, odds are you probably almost need to start one of them in some capacity.
They fell pretty far,
they did fall pretty far. So it's.
You're talking both of those guys going in that.
It depends how you drafted.
Yeah.
So if you drafted in a sense where it's like I have to start one of these guys, I think it's okay to flex either one of them if that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
And I like you, I lean to Eckler a little bit. Buccaneers side, Rashad White and Bucky Irving. I'm not starting Bucky Irving at all, but I'm definitely holding him in a dynasty league.
Start Rashad White.
You starting him.
It's a great matchup.
Yes. It's not a question. You start him. I know we've said what we've said, but if you have Rashad White, you start Rashad White.
No, this is a game you look forward to.
Yeah, for sure. Over to wide receivers. Let's start with the Commanders. Terry McLaurin, Diami Brown, Luke McCaffrey, Noah Brown, Olamide Zaccheaus, Jameis Crowder. Who emerges behind Terry McLaurin here?
Diami
Brown, right?
Yeah.
Is Luke McCaffrey or Noah Brown?
Right now, I got to go Noah Brown. Just from what I'm hearing out
to.
of like training camp and stuff and seeing the preseason stuff, like
he's not a world beater, but he's good. No one talks about Noah Brown.
McCaffrey's got a little bit to go before he's really acclimated and fully in the offense. I still want McCaffrey on rosters, especially Dynasty, but I'm not afraid. I want McCaffrey on some redraft rosters too. But right now, Noah Brown.
I put McCaffrey on my bench in your redraft league.
Yeah.
Just to see like end of year, man, that could be something.
Yeah, what's going to go on?
I don't know. It could be absolutely nothing, but he's at the bottom of the bench, right?
Yeah.
Buccaneers, we've got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan, Trey Palmer. Trey Palmer's questionable with a concussion. My only interest is Evans, and I have a little bit in Godwin. I mean, if you've got either one.
This matchup, I think this is a high scoring game.
Yeah.
And I want all the Mike Evans you can give me this week.
Yeah.
And I'm Chris Godwin.
You start Chris Godwin. He's playing the Commanders. I mean,
in this week, not for the season, but in this week, I feel great about Chris Godwin in my flex.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I mean, when I say little interest, I guess I have a lot of interest in this game. I have little interest on the season as a whole. But let me clarify that. He's playing Washington here. Like you're starting Chris Brown or Chris Godwin. Yeah. Start the hip hop artist Chris Brown. Yeah, you start them both, man. I think they both have a good game here. Tight end, Commanders, Zach Ertz and Ben Sinnott. You could start Ertz, I suppose, but I think there's a ton of other options.
Yeah.
I'll probably stay away. How about K-Dot for the Buccaneers?
Nothing I'm excited about. I could see K-Dot having a good game, but he just didn't get used a lot.
He doesn't do anything to make you go, whoa, man.
No.
Like, it's just, he's a very average tight
One
end.
thing, you would love to see the Buccaneers, nothing against K-Dot, but you would love to see the Buccaneers get Baker, a little bit more talented tight end in that position.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
But he's serviceable for sure.
For sure.
In real life, but I don't know, fantasy.
To me, he's just like a couple catch a game guy, though. He's not that next level tight end.
Sure.
But he's going to get a couple catches, but if he doesn't get it, seems like a very touchdown dependent player.
And I'm not afraid to hold on to him in a dynasty league.
No.
No problem, especially tight end premium. Interest in any defense? Buccaneers.
Not at all.
Not even the Bucks?
No, I just think this is a high scoring game. I don't want nothing to do with either of these defenses.
Okay, let's just say though that you have to pick one.
Buccaneers.
It's the Buccaneers, right? Yeah, I'd prefer to not
Rookie
do
QB
either.
making those mistakes. I'll take the Buccaneers defense over the
Exactly. All right, let's move on to Sunday Night Football. The Rams at the Lions. I love this Goff versus Stafford team swap rivalry that I've created in my own head.
No, this is definitely the NFL did this on purpose.
Yeah. I just think this is going to be a fun matchup.
Go Team Goff.
Go Team Goff for real. I think it's going to be a good matchup though. Should be a good handful of scoring. What do you think?
Yeah,
some nice fantasy output here. There's a lot of star players here.
Yeah, and neither of these defenses were great last year.
Right. Aaron Donald's gone. Detroit's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all right.
Detroit was bad against the pass last year. I'll have it pulled up here when we start talking about other stuff, but I know they were low against the pass. Better against the run, low against the pass.
Okay. Goff or Stafford?
Stafford.
Give me Goff.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Goff's at home, man.
Yeah.
I'll take Goff at home.
Revenge game. I'll switch that. I'll go Goff.
All right. I talked you into it.
More to play for.
Yeah. Now, if this was in L.A., I'm out on Goff. But give me Goff at home in the Dome, baby.
Yeah.
Almost every time. Little matchup dependent, but almost every time. Let's move on to running backs here. Rams. Kyren Williams, Blake Corum, Ronnie Rivers. I only have interest in Kyren. I mean, you can't start Blake Corum or Ronnie Rivers, obviously. So just Kyren Williams.
And I know like the Blake Corum hype and all this stuff, but like Kyren Williams didn't get really bad over the offseason.
Well, again though, I want Blake Corum if I have Kyren.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's available,
I have no
go get him.
Ronnie Rivers, but Blake Corum is
awesome handcuff.
Great handcuff.
If he's available, go get him. If not, and someone has him, trade something cheap and go get him.
Yep.
If you've got Kyren Williams. Over to the Lions side, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. So both these guys do matter. Jahmyr Gibbs, obviously much more. You obviously start him. Do you flex Montgomery? If we can only base off of last year.
Yeah. Guy averaged like 15 points a game last year.
When they get down close, and if you're running this team and you get down close, are you going to have Montgomery or Gibbs in there?
Me?
Yeah.
Gibbs ain't coming off the field.
Oh, Montgomery's
you take a breather.
in for me.
Nah, it's talent level is different. Yeah, I get it. The kid's a bruiser and he can get them goal line work, but
that's who I want.
Yeah.
That's who I want. Now, there's going to be probably a big fantasy point difference, I have to imagine. Like, I'm looking at Montgomery now going not so much like a 15-point guy, closer to a 10-point guy.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're stealing that goal line work, that can make it.
Yeah.
They can make it closer. You can have a 100-yard game with 4 catches and 40 yards, and you got 18 points, and Montgomery had 40 yards and 2 touchdowns. And
sure.
It's neck and neck.
Yep. One's an RB1, one's a flex.
Yep.
All right. On to receivers on the Rams side. Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua. That's my only interest. Behind that's DeMarcus Robinson and Jordan Whittington, though I think you need to keep a close eye on Jordan Whittington in Dynasty.
That could be a thing.
That's going to be a thing. I do believe it's going to be a thing. Like DeMarcus Robinson's what's in his way. Now listen, Robinson won me some fantasy matches last year, late in the year. He was awesome to have because you start 3 receivers in your league, so you add a flex to that. I mean, it's like you could run 4 receivers. And I was light on running back, and I'm like, well, he was great.
Yeah,
but I mean, I think it's Jordan Whittington. I think there's something to him.
Yeah, I think that, Cooper Kupp's health last year played a little bit of a factor into DeMarcus Robinson too.
Sure.
Whittington has the potential to be a factor if everybody's healthy, in my opinion.
I think he could easily be the third and just be real good.
Right.
Okay, yeah, but Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, you start them both if you have them.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it there. Lions, St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Khalif Raymond. My only interest right now is St. Brown. If I have to flex Jamison Williams, I suppose I would. But I want to wait and see on this. But I think it could be something, man. He is the legit 2. Finally.
I'm not waiting.
You're not waiting. You can start him?
No, I put him on my flex right now. I'm high on Jamison. I'm very high on Jamison Williams this year. I think this is it. I think he has a great year.
He's still a very good receiver.
Yeah.
That could be something.
Nothing this year. There's no suspension. There's no injury at the beginning of the year. He was there for the whole training camp. He had like the thing with his foot a little bit, but Jamison Williams, this is it, I think.
I still want to wait and see, but I would not be surprised at all. I don't have any stock in him for redraft, but I could see where if I did and didn't start him, I might be upset with myself.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. Tight end, Rams, Colby Parkinson. Listen, we didn't talk about him very much at all, but Sean McVay also doesn't necessarily utilize tight end super heavy.
No, nothing against Colby Parkinson.
No.
This isn't a Brock Bowers talent level that you're bringing in. It's different. And like you said, I would say he's comparable to Tyler Higbee. So is he going to blow the top off? No, I think he's going to be very
He's going to have
similar.
some catches, but
yeah, Higbee had some good games too, but it was
really sporadic.
Yeah, I expect the same thing.
All right, over to the Lions side. You start Sam Laporta. Do we need to say anything else?
No.
It's Sam Laporta. If you have him, you start him.
He'll be good. He'll be fine. He'll be great.
Yeah. Interest in any defense if you had to.
If I had to pick one, give me the Lions.
Give me Detroit at home.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to Monday Night Football. The Jets at the 49ers. I am so happy that Aaron Rodgers is back.
Don't get hurt, Aaron.
Please don't. You shouldn't have even said that.
I have no interest in I want to see it unfold. I want to see New York with a full season with Aaron Rodgers and see what happens.
Me too.
So
very excited. Is in this matchup, do you have any concern of a fairly low score due to both these teams having pretty well top tier defenses?
Yeah, but I think this is going to be an average scoring game. I think with the quarterbacks and the offensive weapons that are here, they're still going to be able to score
24-20,
yeah,
27-20,
like
something,
that. Yeah.
Something similar to like the Chiefs and Ravens type score.
Exactly.
So enough for some fantasy production. All right. Rodgers or Purdy?
Purdy.
Give me Purdy because it's home. I'll take Purdy. He's got more weapons.
So excited
at the end of the day.
Aaron,
me too.
Let's go.
Me too.
Excited for Garrett Wilson.
In reality, give me Rodgers.
Yeah.
In fantasy, give me Purdy.
Okay.
Fair?
Yeah.
All right. Let's move over to running back. Jets side. Breece Hall. That's all we need to talk about. However, Braylon Allen does seem to be the handcuff to have here. If you can get him, you probably can. Unless you're in a dynasty league. But redraft format, you should have, if you got a scrub at the bottom of your bench you didn't even want to begin with, you should have no problem getting your hands on Braylon Allen.
The Breece Hall thing, we know that the 49ers defense is tough, but this talent level, he'll still produce fantasy points.
If anyone ever asked me that, I'd be like, just stop playing.
Right. Is it going to be his big week? Is it going to be his big week of the year? I highly doubt it, but he's still a great running back, and he's going to come out and play.
I expect production.
Yep.
On the 49ers side, obviously, it's CMC. You start him.
This is a great matchup, actually. I just worry about he's still questionable.
Yeah.
He's going to play. Everybody seems to be going in that direction. That
sounds like it's going to be fine.
But, the Jets' run defense was not good last year. 26 in fantasy points against. So, I mean, this could be healthy. Christian McCaffrey could do a lot of damage here.
Sure. Should be tough around
healthy
Purdy.
Christian McCaffrey can do damage on any game. I understand that.
Right.
Matchup's decent, too.
Jordan Mason does seem to be the handcuff to have for now. But, well, it could be all the way through, I guess.
Yeah.
Elijah Mitchell, season-ending IR. Garendo's dealing with a groin injury. That's no fun. That could be prolonged. They usually are. So I think right now it's Jordan Mason. And if you want to handcuff him, I think that's who you need to get. Wide receiver side, Jets. Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, Alan Lazard, Xavier Gibson, Malachi Corley. My only interest here is Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
I don't have interest in Mike Williams right now. And then you're talking Lazard, Gibson.
Some of these guys are going to be fantasy relevant, but I want to see it. You know, Aaron
You're gonna
Rodgers
have
is
to
going
wait.
to produce fantasy numbers with these wide receivers, and I assume Mike Williams, if he's healthy, has a good year with Aaron Rodgers.
He's got to be
But
healthy.
I want to see it.
Goodness.
And I want to see how it all plans out. You know, Aaron Rodgers is going to support a wide receiver cast to be fantasy relevant, but let's see how it shakes out.
Right on. And again, you start Garrett Wilson. That's not a question.
Yeah, he's going to shake out fine. It's gonna be great.
Over to the 49ers, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. Ricky Pearsall is looking to miss the first few weeks due to a gunshot wound to the chest. What in the hell is wrong with people? Unreal.
I don't know.
He was going to buy luggage for road games.
Yeah.
Somebody wanted his watch, and they shot him in the chest. Anyway, you're starting Ayuk. You're starting Samuel. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing really to talk about there, right?
Not excited about the matchup, but you're starting those guys.
You have to.
Best passing defense fantasy-wise in the NFL last year, but one of these guys is going to have a rough day.
Yeah, who is it?
Whoever is getting covered mostly by Sauce Gardner.
And I have to think it's probably Ayuk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that. Like, I think you're starting both of them, but if
Don't be
Sauce,
surprised if it's a down game.
like Gardner that kid is so elite, and like if he is following somebody, it's going to be a long day.
Yeah, that's scary.
I just as
But you
young,
have to
as young
start
as that as young, you do, but as young as that kid's career is, I've seen that kid just shut down too many big name wide receivers to think that either of these wide receivers are going to have a good day if he's against them.
He's the real deal.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Okay, let's move on to tight ends here. Jets, you got Tyler Conklin. I'm not starting him. Tyler, you're not starting him, correct?
No, but I am intrigued to see how this shakes out with Tyler Conklin.
Sure.
Not starting him, but I don't even know. Definitely somebody that I'm watching, though. When we've talked about with Aaron Rodgers not totally being a tight end friendly quarterback, there's
Right.
different spots, and it's different offense with the Jets.
Well,
Granted, it's still
Nathaniel Hackett, though. Yeah.
So no, but I still want to watch it. But no, not starting him at all.
And then with the 49ers, obviously, it's George Kittle. If you have him, you start him. I recommend that you probably shouldn't have drafted him.
I
He's
really
just
don't like
too up and down.
Don't like him. Excuse me.
Ty's
Don't
tired.
like the matchup.
Ty had a long day.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad day.
You were all the way out in Milroy, PA,
Yeah.
doing construction stuff.
It was a good day, actually. I was done early today by my standards.
Right. But yeah, again, if you have Kittle, you start him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it is what, unless, maybe you drafted a couple tight ends early and
I'm sorry.
maybe Kittle is one of them. Maybe you can start the other guy. I don't know. But generally speaking, if you have him, you're starting him. Interest in any DST?
Yeah.
Niners, right?
Yeah.
Give me the Niners over the Jets.
Yep.
All right, that's it for the game preview for Sunday, 4 o'clock, Sunday night and Monday night. Let's move on to a little segment we're going to start doing here with Tyler. Tyler's DFS picks. So, Tyler, it is all you, man.
Yep. These DFS picks are if you're going to play, these are for the 1 o'clock and the 4 o'clock games combined. Did a classic lineup. I have Anthony Richardson as my QB, 6,300, going against the 28th ranked Indianapolis Colts or the Houston Texans passing defense. You know this kid's going to do stuff on his feet too. Give me it now before the price goes up. Zamir White, my RB1 for 5,700. I think this is a deal. I don't think you're going to get Zamir White this cheap throughout the season. Take it now while it's 5,700. Good matchup against the Chargers defense. We talked about Kenneth Walker earlier. He's my RB2 for 6,100. 31st ranked Broncos defense. I think Ken Walker has a huge game. Spent some big money on Cooper Kupp, 7,100, but I look for Cooper Kupp to have a big game here against the Lions. Lions were 30th against the pass last year. Give me some Cooper Kupp action. I'll spend the extra money this week on Cooper Kupp for 7,100.
I'll second that. I think Cooper Kupp's going to have an awesome game. Detroit did nothing. I mean, well, they did, but no. It's not going to be good enough.
Cooper Kupp healthy, Matthew Stafford connection week 1. Give it to me.
Yep,
I want it all day. Tried to save some money here on my wide receiver 2 and 3. I went with, help me out with this name, Chad, Andre
Yoshivas.
Okay, Andre Yoshivas, 3,000, cheap as you can get a wide receiver. Jamar Chase, we don't know what's going on there. Mitchell, you were talking about that earlier.
T. Higgins is doubtful, and Chase is very questionable.
And even if those two are healthy, Yoshivas, could be the 3. $3,000. Joe Burrow is your quarterback, 3 wide receiver on that team. Give me that for $3,000. As cheap as you can get a wide receiver, I'll take that upside. Went with Demario Douglas, presumed slot wide receiver for $4,800. Catching some short passes, hopefully out of Jacoby Brissett getting a PPR. So Demario Douglas. Got Kyle Pitts for $4,600. And I know Kyle Pitts has some hammy stuff.
Some question marks there, maybe.
Yeah, he did post on Twitter today, though, that I'll see y'all Sunday for sure. So,
okay, that's good to know.
And I got him for $4,600 going against the 23rd ranked Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Pittsburgh does not cover tight ends well. I like this matchup. I want this to be the breakout year for Kyle Pitts. So with the money we saved with Kyle Pitts, Demario Douglas, and Andre Osavas, we spent our big money on Tyreek Hill, one of the highest players as far as your salary goes. But at $8,700, guy averaged 25 fantasy points per game last year. I want him on my week 1 DFS lineup. He's the big player that I went with. And hopefully that pays off with Yoshavas being only $3,000 and Douglas paying $4,800. If they have good games and you hit with Tyreek Hill, hopefully you got something. My defense to round it out is the surprise Saints going against the Panthers for $3,700. So spend all the salary, no salary left. That's 100% used up. And that's my DFS lineup for the week. If you play, good luck.
Thanks, Ty. Hey, so listen, if you have some questions and you're looking at it and you're like, I'm just not real sure, go for it. Set that lineup. Set that lineup with what Tyler just told you and see what happens. And good luck to you, whether you do or don't. Any final thoughts?
For the DFS, if you're just starting out, one thing I would recommend is getting the $1, $2 leagues with a lot of people in them. And it's small, but if you hit usually like in the top 1,000 with a decent roster, you'll get $8 or $9. If you're getting into the ones that are above like 25,000, 30,000 people, put the $1, $2 in. You're not losing much, and if you get a hit there, you're in the top 1,000, which is pretty doable actually. You get a couple bucks out of it. Good way to get started.
And
you know what I mean?
You can keep playing.
Yeah.
Listen, do you go to the gas station and spend $1 on a lottery ticket?
Right.
You do? Okay. And you're playing against
this is
lots of tickets on that roll. So it's a $1 lottery ticket.
Yeah, and it's not totally chance. You can feel like you're doing something. And it's just funner. You're watching the games and rooting for your guys and make $5. Great.
Yep. Makes your Sunday a lot funner, in my opinion.
Yep.
My final thoughts, basically, this is it. Good luck. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, good luck, and we're all excited. I do have a final thought. I got to concede to Chad. We recorded the last episode, and I had an argument with him about Trey Sermon and Evan Hall. And after that episode was released, 53-man rosters were also released, and Evan Hall was not on it. Yeah. So I got to own that one. Chad was right on that one. That's my final thoughts.
Well, listen, I'll be fair to Tyler here too. I honestly was I didn't know that he was cut. My thing with Trey Sermon is just simply he was with the 49ers. It didn't work. The Eagles picked him up. Steichen was there. He was the O coordinator. Steichen leaves. Obviously, Trey Sermon never panned out there at all. They just could have brought in whoever they wanted. Steichen brought Trey Sermon to the Colts and put him behind Taylor. For what it's worth, it could be worth absolutely nothing. So I may be wrong here too.
Yeah,
so
you're righter than I was. Like I didn't make the roster. So
I was righter than Ty. That's a new word on this podcast. I was righter.
Righter. Did I catch a niner?
All right, that's it for today's show. Again, as always, thank you all so much for tuning in and giving us your support. Remember, our PPR Superflex Dynasty rankings are now available in the description. Just click the corresponding link. They're also available on our Twitter. Check the description for instructions on how to get your trades graded, and join us next time where Tyler and I will react and give our thoughts to all the Week 1 slated games. Please remember to like, follow, and subscribe to our Spotify, Twitter, and YouTube. Tell your friends. See you next time, everybody.